Welcome to Cultura Latina. Today we're taking you back in time to a nice strange culture in Ecuador recently declared cultural heritage. And also we'll go to Honduras, where the struggle for art has become a powerful tool to recover and open new spaces of expression. Located in the dangerous Comayagüela area, the Cultural and Art Center is an initiative from the National University of Honduras to create new spaces of culture in impoverished areas.
The city of Comayagüela is one of the most marginalized and violent places in Honduras. It is the center of the most conglomerated markets, and many areas are completely under the control of organized crime.
The vision of the university rector to organize this project was to make a difference in a space that was forgotten. This area has a large number of youth and children. The center makes a difference in a space that is heavily affected by marginalization, violence, and criminal groups. Comayagüela historically has been abandoned by governments because in colonial times it was an indigenous town, a fact which has marked its evolution. It has always been a city that existed to serve Tegucigalpa.
The center, with its ongoing activities and visits by public school, has started to change the neighborhood.
We are researching the story of markets, of Calle Real. We are investigating the political history of Comayagüela and the colonial history too. It's important that people know it and give it its value again.
The building needed a lot of renovations. It was about to be demolished.
With Hurricane Mitch in 1998, this building was abandoned and it stayed that way until 2011. That year, the university rector made the decision to restore it and make it an art and cultural center for the people of the Central District.
For artist Cesar Manzanares, this center is changing the prejudice that people had against Comayagüela.
This area has been stigmatized, but beyond that, for those who hang out here, we know those stereotypes aren't true. The risk one faces because of crime can happen anywhere. People who already live here are used to it here. They don't have the prejudices, and it is these people who we expect to come here, rather than the people with prejudice, the ones that are too afraid, that don't want to come out.
The Art and Cultural Center of the National University is running workshops for children and for young people that used to be involved in organized crime. It has opened its doors to new artists who now have a place to show their work, and it has changed the mentality of those who thought it was a mistake to open such a space in an area of conflict.
Ecuador is rich in cultural heritage. Since 2008, the train from the Chimbacalle station became a landmark because of its historical relevance in the early transportation of ice and frozen foods. Take a look.
We are in the neighborhood of Chimbacalle. This is Aloyo Faro de Chimbacalle station. Aloyo Faro came here on June 25, 1908, and when it was inaugurated, it was the route from Duran to Quito. At this time, the train served to join the coast with the Sierras. An important part of the train was it permitted the transport of products from the coast that could be shared with Sierra, for example fish, shrimp, seafood, etc., and also products of the mountains that could be transported to the coast. Additionally, the train was a train that carried passengers and cargo. It transported cargo and passengers, but it was in disarray. But with the Citizens' Revolution, it was defined as a rehabilitation of this historical monument, which is the train, which in 2008 was classified as Cultural Heritage of Ecuador. Last year we had 160,000 tourists that rode and enjoyed the train, but we've also had 100,000 visitors to the stations. So the stations have been transformed into a public space, into a lively public space, that permits all citizens to enjoy it. The station in the year 2010 was elected the most wonderful site of Quito. About 30 stations on the national level have been rehabilitated as well. And today we have activities that permit the development around the stations in the neighbourhoods, in the cities and in the towns. Everything that is social and cultural development. We have a conception that they are stations, that they are alive, so people can enjoy the train, but as a public space where people can enjoy various activities. The neighbourhood has converted the station as one of its cultural spaces, and all the collectives of the South asked to hold various activities here. One of the people who was asked to present here his art is Raphael, who is here today because he's going to build the worlds to "All You Need Is Ecuador," which is the phrase which is a very important international campaign is using, positioning the country and rapidly realising its tourist potential. And he's going to build the middle of the world monument as well, which is a very important element.
The art that is being made this morning is to promote the brand of the country, which is All You Need Is Ecuador. It is an emblematic site that is more than 100 years old, which is where we are right now in the train station. We also have it in the back, the mill, which is also more than 100 years old. And the landscape in the background. This is really what inspired me to do this, here, today.
Eso fue lo que realmente me inspiró a hacer eso aquí hoy.
We found a business, not on the verge of death, but totally dead. We took its pulse and it did not have any. We could rescue a few things and we had to restructure the business, focusing principally on tourism with 3 objectives. Stimulate the economies of the places where the train passes, recuperate the historical memory of Ecuador, and also operate the most beautiful train in the world.
Recuperar la memoria histórica del Ecuador y también operar el tren más hermoso del mundo.
Thanks for watching. Come back next week for a special surprise in Latin culture. See you then.